Yo ho ho, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Don Mafia Live, your go-to show. Folks, let me tell you something. I'm live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST and also at 5:15 p.m. EST, bringing you all of the late-breaking news surrounding your favorite squad. And then we know that normally during my afternoon streams, we have a lot to discuss of what occurred at practice, specifically the injury report. All right, what should we expect? I want to remind everybody that this is a walkthrough today. It's very similar to training camp. There's shorts, there's t-shirts, not a lot of contact. So take everything that I'm about to say with a grain of salt. This is purely just speculation at this point, but I think that we have a pretty solid understanding. Shout out to everybody that was in my earlier streams today. I had a preview for the LA Rams game. I also had a breaking news. Micah Hyde is a Buffalo Bill again. We had that stream. We talked about that dude here for a little bit. So shout out to everybody in the chat for joining me. I appreciate that. I see the familiar faces in here. Dominic is coming in saying, Bobby HG, we definitely didn't bring him back for decorations because it's Christmas time. Yo, Dan, how you doing, Bobby HG? What's up, man? Hope all is well. Old Danny Mitchell, LMFG, Buffalo. Absolutely, man. That's what I'm talking about. What's up? Saw you giving away the Benford jersey. Love it. Went to school just about an hour from me. Troy, yes, sir. In case you guys have no idea what he's talking about, I will tell you. I am giving away a signed Christian Benford jersey. All right. If you want to be a part of my competitions, folks, or my contests, you must be a subscriber to this YouTube channel and also leave a comment after this stream is over on this very video. And I will be selecting a winner on Sunday, which makes it even better. Dominic is coming on in saying, let's go, Buffalo. What's up, Dan? Dominic, what's going on with you, my friend? Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday. The Christmas season is around the corner. I know all of you that are working have completely clocked out, all right? Everyone's not doing any real work until January from now on. I can promise you that. We have all mentally checked out. The holidays are around the corner, and we're super excited about that. Hyde said that he will retire after this season. He did say that during his press conference. He's saying that he is willing to take any role that the Buffalo Bills intend on giving him. If you guys were a part of my stream earlier today, I gave you my overall thought process on it. I think that Sean McDermott is using him as an insurance policy. I don't want to rip open old wounds here, but last year in the playoffs, we were so badly beat up on the defensive side of the ball that I think Sean McDermott told himself that he was not going to allow that to happen again. Hence why I think Micah Hyde is back. I don't think that it's just because, I just want to get him a ring. It's like nostalgia. Like, no, like this is a business, right? Like, surprisingly enough, practice squad positions are valuable to these organizations. They want to make sure that they have the right person out there. I think Micah Hyde is going to be a insurance policy, all right? Or say, for example, that DeMar Hamlin starts playing like shit, although DeMar has been playing very well, if you were to ask me. I think that's half of the reason why Micah Hyde is back in action. Folks, we got to go on ahead, and I got to show you fools this damn injury report. Let's go ahead and show this up real fast, baby. We got the first one. The first one, ladies and gentlemen, and I have to tell you, okay? This is looking ideal, if you were to ask me. This is looking ideal, right? Now, granted, shorts and a t-shirt, inside, walkthrough, starting to prepare for the LA Rams game. But I figured it would be worth our time to go through each and every single player that is listed at least as limited and give you a prediction of whether or not that I feel like that they will be playing on Sunday. All right, we have some interesting names on here. And I think all we really care about are two names specifically, and that just so happens to be Keon Coleman. That also just so happens to be Dalton Kincaid. Will either of them play? Let's unpack this together and put our theories out there. I'm praying St. Jude for that jersey. That jersey, Bella Rose, she's making it happen. Let's not get T.O. or TD excited. I hope he is better than Hamlin so he can start. It's funny because everybody here hates DeMar Hamlin. There are a lot of people that hate DeMar Hamlin for some reason. I have no idea why. I feel like I was on that train for a while, even during the offseason. I didn't think that he would beat out Mike Edwards, but he did beat out Mike Edwards. Like, Mike Edwards was just not a good safety, and DeMar was better. It wasn't because Sean McDermott was loyal to him by any stretch of the imagination. He hasn't gotten this far as a defensive head coach for just going exclusively with loyalty. I think that argument's silly, and to be honest with you. But He's solid in coverage, guys. He's where he needs to be in coverage. Run defense is a bit better. And I think people that overhate Damar Hamlin are wrong. And I think that people that overhype Damar Hamlin are wrong, if that makes sense. It's easy to be right in the middle of the road, right? Like, we can all admit that he is an average safety at best, right? He's average. He's not terrible. And I just think that, like, really any argument without actually watching him play saying that he's absolutely terrible is kind of crazy. We have Troy saying Hamlin is a decent starter, but definitely upgradable, more of a backup, honestly. But then again, listen, I think that him and Rapp have been playing very well together. I don't think that they're going to break that up unless Damar goes out there and starts playing like shit and or an injury. That is the only way I really see our boy out there. Bills have 7 Players of the Week awards through 13 weeks this season. You know what? We've come a long way, Cheetos. We've come a long way after we were going to have a reset or a rebuild season. We're going to have to see that. Why hate Damar? Dude, I have no idea. I have no idea why people hate Damar Hamlin for some reason. A lot of people have been like rooting on his downfall. I think ever since that fake punt in the playoffs. Stop hating on Damar. He's solid. I wouldn't go that far. So I think he is a decent starter. Troy ended up saying in the chat, and I think that makes the most sense. He's a decent starter, right? He's young too, right? Like, let's remember that Micah Hyde hasn't played football in quite some time. But listen, he's a solid insurance policy. He is a ball hawk. Micah Hyde is a ball hawk, but he's 33 years old. And you know who else is 33 years old? Your boy right over here. I pulled a hamstring in my sleep last night, and I work out just about every single day. So when you turn 33, folks, things start to spiral down the drain, all right? Especially for my younger viewers out there. You know, you have a lot to look forward to. He's playing great, and he's not a liability. Videsh is saying Hamlin is leading in Pro Bowl voting, although that I think that Pro Bowl is like super silly, right? Like, I've never really took the Pro Bowl seriously, but I did think it was funny because I knew that it was going to drive a lot of haters just going crazy. Cody, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Do we have a score projection yet? Mine would be 27-25 Bills. Bills doesn't dip below 30 points this year much at all. I am all here for this game. Cody, my guy, what's going on, man? So I'll tell you what, my dude. I gave the final score prediction of 31 Buffalo and then 21 LA. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to look at what defenses that were similar to the Buffalo Bills in overall points allowed. So whether or not that they're dominant, like all over the board, or whether or not that they end up making up for it in the red zone. Right now, this Buffalo Bills team is allowing, I want to say, 19.4 points per game on average. And the Philadelphia Eagles are allowing 19.1, right? So the LA Rams scored 20 on the Philadelphia Eagles during their loss to them. So that's kind of where I came with it. I think that LA does score 20, but it's kind of hard, right? Because like we're holding teams at an absolutely ridiculously low amount of points, but I'm going 31-21. I'm really feeling that. I love Dan's channel because look at that, acknowledges us subs here. Absolutely. Bella, of course, I'm going to go on ahead and acknowledge everybody that comes in here and rocks. Rapid Hamlin is holding down the fort back there. Hamlin is playing great. Cody came in and saying, damn, Dan, skipping my comment. I got you, brother. You already know that. Let's not forget Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler as a backup. Absolutely. I was listening to Josh Allen press conference. I love my quarterback. Go Bills. He's the man, dude. He really is. If Hamlin could tighten up his positioning at times, he would be a lot better. Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, like he's not an elite safety, right? He's not elite, but funny enough, he's having a better season than Javon Holland. He's having a better season than Jordan Poyer, which makes it pretty intriguing, right? So it's just something to think about. Okay, anyway, like I said, folks, we have a couple of things that we need to point out today, and that is the injury report. We have a good understanding, and the first 2 players I want to take a look at is Dwayne Carter and then Tylen Grable, who are on the IR. Okay, now listen, in case you guys didn't know, when you are placed on the IR and designated to return for the season, okay, you have 21 days to be activated to the 53-man roster. If you are not activated to the 53-man roster within that 21-day period, that means that you have to go on season-ending IR. That's essentially what it means. So it's good to see that Dwayne Carter, who had his wrist injury, he was a full participant. I have a feeling that he will be elevated. I have a feeling he will be named on the 53-man roster. Will he be a healthy scratch? Maybe, maybe not, right? We are about to be going up against a team that has two pretty formidable running backs who love to run north-south, specifically Kyron Williams. He loves running right between the center and the right guard, center, left guard. That's a large majority of his overall attempts. And Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones haven't necessarily been lighting up the box score as far as tackles and assisted tackles like we would want, right? So I think that Dwayne Carter will be elevated. Snap count is going to be an entire different conversation. I think that he'll be activated. How many snaps does he get? I think that Sean McDermott's probably going to err on the side of caution right there. We have Keon Coleman, wide receiver. Wrist, limited, folks. Damn. I'll tell you what. Keon Coleman, I think that he would have been able to play against the San Francisco 49ers. I will go as far as saying that I think that Keon Coleman could have played against the Kansas City Chiefs before the bye week even. But I think this is multi-layered right here. I think the reason Keon has not played was because Sean McDermott is putting health as his number one priority going into the postseason. But I do think that Keon Coleman is going to play against the LA Rams. I sincerely do. It's in a dome. It is perfect conditions to bring him back, scale him back. I don't see him being out in the field too much. I'm not going to see old Keon 75, 80% of the snap share. I think that Sean McDermott is going to ease him back in like he does many that are just fresh off of the IR and injury report in general. So I think that Keon Coleman is going to play. But my next thing is, here's my thought process on this. I don't think Dalton Kincaid will play. I don't. Now, do I think that he could play? Yeah, for sure. I think that he could play, especially based off of what we have heard thus far, right? That it was a PCL injury within the knee. I think based off of how Dawson Knox has been performing for the past couple of weeks, I think Sean McDermott waits one more week and elevates Dalton Kincaid against the Detroit Lions. I normally do. If, for example, we didn't have another tight end like Dawson Knox, and or Zach Davidson, right, then I think we probably would have rushed him back, but I think we're going to be putting him on ice. So I'm going to gamble that Dalton Kincaid will not play, but Keon Coleman will. Dominic is coming in saying, hey, Dan, and you think McDermott will wait for the Lions game to bring back Coleman and Kincaid and give them an extra week? I mean, dude, honestly, I would not be surprised at this point. I think I just answered your question. I think Keon is going to play, but I think they're going to use that mentality with Dalton Kincaid a bit differently, and I think that they're going to give him one more week. That's my speculation. I would be thrilled to welcome them both back on Sunday, but again, I really think that Sean McDermott is having nightmares every night, and he doesn't want to see the same thing occur over and over and over again, or history repeat itself where we walk into the playoffs completely banged up. But one thing is solid, and I'm glad that I don't sound like I'm a broken record, because I've said this take, I believe, earlier in my streams, but I'm just going to go on ahead and assume that the vast majority of you are afternoon stream viewers only. What is promising for the Buffalo Bills this year, right? Like, what is promising for the Buffalo Bills is that unlike last year, when we went through 12 games, we played 12 games, right? We were in desperation mode to make the playoffs last year, right? We had to win. So we were putting it all out on the damn field. Suffered major injuries against the Miami Dolphins to win the division, because I'm not sure if you guys remember, there was this viral graphic going around that showed possibilities of where the seedings were, of what the outcome of the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins game was going to be. And there was one scenario where we missed the playoffs entirely. So it was largely a dogfight all the way until the end of the season. and we were rushing people back that shouldn't have been rushed back. And lo and behold, we suffer more injuries against Miami. That Week 18 matchup where we won the AFC East, suffered even more injuries against the Pittsburgh Steelers during the wild card weekend. And lo and behold, we were going out there with a guy that was fresh off of the couch in AJ Klein. So right now we're in a beautiful position where Sean McDermott doesn't have this need to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to rush back Dalton Kincaid off of this knee injury because we damn need him, right? That's what I honestly think that his number one goal is right now. McDermott is trying to make sure the players are healthy because he knows his job will be at risk in the offseason if the team doesn't win at all. I don't think that would be the case. I know fans would certainly want that, but I highly, highly, highly doubt that ownership in the front office would do anything. And to be completely honest with you, man, like nobody expected this Buffalo Bills team to make the playoffs in general, at least according to the national media. Like, I know that fans, if, for example, that we don't end up winning the Super Bowl, that like they're going to be, oh, dude, like we have to get rid of Sean McDermott. But like this ownership looks at Sean McDermott the same way that the Pittsburgh Steelers ownership looks at Mike Tomlin. If I had to make a comparison, say that I had to make a comparison, I genuinely believe that's the case. Bring Jordan Poyer back. It's the greatest story ever told. It is the greatest story ever told this year. Isn't it funny? Hey, Dan, how do you feel on the Hyde signing? I like it, but I wish we would have signed him as a coach to coach our free safety. I like it, my friend, but just exclusively as an insurance policy. Micah is playing this week, LOL. No, I don't think he's going to. I know this might not be the right time for this, but if Emmanuel Forbes becomes available in free agency, should we take a shot at him? He's 23 and fits into McDermott's zone system if we lose Rasul Douglas. Why do I want to say? Bear with me. Because right before I say this, I want to double check. I want to say that Rasul Douglas has one more year with us. Let me double check. Rasul Douglas. Talk to me, Rasul. No, this is his last year. We have a void year attached to his contract after the case. I could see us extending Rasul, but I would be fine with Emmanuel Forbes as well as some depth people. But what I can tell you is that I think when it comes to the upcoming draft, I have a feeling that our first round pick is going to be a corner. I think our first round pick is going to be a corner if that works out that way. McDermott isn't going anywhere. Pagula and Bean love him, and he's trying this franchise around. Sometimes it takes 5 to 8 years. GRV, who won the Keon Coleman jersey? GRV Studios. I'm glad you asked because my boy hasn't answered me yet. Jermaine Harris. Jermaine Harris ended up winning the Keon Coleman jersey. And still haven't heard back from him. But it was the user, our good friend, Jermaine Harris, that came on in, but he was unable to accept it yet. So I'm going to give him a couple of more days, and if not, then we'll go ahead and we'll just roll it back. But GRV Studios, if you are still looking for jersey giveaways, have no fear because I'm giving away that Christian Benford jersey this week. Christian Benford jersey this week, brother. All for you, man. All for you. Make it on happen. Spin is coming in saying Douglas is a free agent. He certainly is. Bella Rose, if he don't answer, give it to one of us here. Let's go. Corey Sampson. Go Bills from Kansas. I will accept it. Snook is saying he's going to accept it. How do we win the jersey again? All right, man. This is what you have to do. Okay. You have to be a subscriber to my YouTube channel and you have to leave a comment on this video. Have to leave a comment on this video after the video is over with. Not in the live chat, but afterwards. Spoiler alert, folks. I'm doing this for every video. I'm going to pick a random video. I'm going to pick a random ass comment. So make sure you leave a comment on practically every single stream I ever do if you want to make sure that you have the best shot at winning one, baby. That's how we're doing it over here, dog. Dan, would you want Diggs back if the Bills don't bring back Cooper? Absolutely not. William, which team in the NFL do you enjoy watching the most if you can't say the Bills? So fun football to watch, man. I mean, it's hard not to say the Lions. So offensively, I would say the Bengals are pretty fun to watch. And so the Chiefs are fucking boring to watch, bro. Like, that's like boring ass football. Like, that's like sort of like, so the dynasty years of the Patriots for a couple of those years where like they were just edging out victories. But as far as fun football to watch, love watching the Eagles, love watching the Bengals, love watching the Lions this year. I'm trying to think of like any other team that's like super exciting. So Vikings at the beginning of the year. Yeah. But so I'll be completely honest with you. I'm mostly a red zone dude. And do you need a pristine auction account? Not anymore, my friend. I have simplified the giveaways. And do you think the Bills are extending Coop? Therese is coming in. I am surprised we don't seem to be missing Kincaid on the offense. I mean, Zach Davidson's been doing pretty solid, man. And the Eagles are fun to watch. They are, man, especially with Saquon. He's going fucking insane. And the Ravens are also fun to watch. I will give, as long as they're not kicking the shit out of my Buffalo Bills team. Yeah, I'd say the Ravens are fun to watch too. Hey, Dan, good evening. But D, what do you know about Coleman and Kincaid injuries? Is it more serious than what they are leading us to believe? If they don't return, would I be concerned? Go Bills. Bills Mafia J718. That is a wonderful question. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to pull up Bills PR real fast. And I'm going to pull up the injury report as I go into my soapbox. So I went into this a bit earlier, but like short summary of that is no. I don't think that we should be concerned. I think that Sean McDermott is just being extra cautious, frankly, because he can be, right? Like this year, like we have just bookmarked our ticket right into the playoffs, right? Last year, we didn't have that luxury. We had to fight as hard as we could even to make the playoffs in the first place, right? I think Keon was technically good to go against the San Francisco 49ers, but I think they just looked at it and they're like, yeah, forget these conditions. We're not going to make this happen. I think that Keon Coleman is going to come back this week. I really do. But if he does not, I would not be freaking out, right? Because otherwise he would have been placed on the IR. I think this is Sean McDermott going out and making sure that his team is as healthy as humanly possible when the playoffs are right around the corner. I genuinely believe that. But I do think that Keon Coleman will play. I think Dalton Kincaid will be held out for one more week, though. Nick Wright is such a douche hater, that he can't admit Josh exists for the word MVP. It is just Saquon. Bella Rose, they never really said that Keon's injury to his hand was. It was probably something similar to what I feel like 90% of the NFL has been going through so far this year. I mean, it is the year of the wrist. So many wrist injuries have been coming into it. Bobby HG, I would be very scared to play the Eagles in the Super Bowl just because of their run game with Barkley against our D. Where do you get these jerseys from? I get them on Pristine Auction, my friend. #1 online auction house on the market. Can we see Carter back this week? So I'm going to tell you what, his 21-day practice window is up. Right? So, yes, most definitely. We need to, or otherwise he's going to be placed on season-ending IR, and I just don't foresee that happening. But interesting stuff. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Dom Mafia Live. I want to let you know that I'm going to be live on the AFC East Roundtable later this afternoon. I'm glad that we were able to unpack the injury report today. By the way, I have Quentin Morris, Taylor Rapp, and Curtis Samuel, who are all listed as limited, will be able to play on Sunday, by the way. That's my thought. But yeah, most definitely. I certainly appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, I would be nowhere without you guys. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more daily NFL content and a chance to win signed memorabilia for the remainder of the NFL season. Love each and every single one of you, and I will see you on the AFC East Roundtable later tonight. Peace.